Let me be honest with you. If you've ever spent hours writing a simple email or rewritten the first paragraph of a project so many times that the project never got finished, you're not bad at time management. You're not lazy. You're trapped in perfectionism. And right now, it's silently destroying your productivity. The problem: what perfectionism really is. Here's the truth. Perfectionism is not having high standards. It's having impossible standards that stop you from starting or finishing anything. You tell yourself, if it's not perfect, it's not worth doing. And that mindset keeps you stuck. Perfectionism doesn't push you forward. It freezes you in place. Let's talk about you. You take 40 photos for one Instagram post. Then you spend another hour fixing the caption. Meanwhile, someone else already posted, learned, and moved on. You say, I just need a bit more research before I start. 6 hours later, you've got 50 browser tabs open and zero actual work done. Your email drafts folder? It's full of messages that were supposed to take 2 minutes but turned into essays you were too afraid to send. Here's the brutal reality. While you're perfecting sentence, someone else already shipped version 1 and is improving it with real feedback. Section 2. The historical example, Leonardo da Vinci. Now listen carefully. One of the greatest geniuses in human history had the exact same problem. Leonardo da Vinci. Yes, that Leonardo. The painter, the inventor, the genius. But also a perfectionist who left most of his work unfinished. Leonardo completed only around 15 paintings in his lifetime. He abandoned the adoration of the Magi Saint Jerome in the wilderness, the Battle of Anghiari. These weren't side projects, these were major commissions. He walked away because tiny details weren't perfect enough. Imagine quitting a masterpiece because you didn't like how one cloud looked. That's perfectionism. Section 3. How Leonardo still became legendary. Here's where it gets interesting. Leonardo didn't beat perfectionism by lowering his standards. He beat it by changing how he worked. Strategy 1. Multiple projects. Instead of forcing himself to finish one thing perfectly, he worked on multiple projects at the same time. When perfectionism blocked him on one project, he switched to another. This kept him moving. No paralysis, no endless tweaking. Strategy 2. Document everything. Leonardo filled thousands of pages with notes and sketches, not because everything was perfect, but because progress mattered. That documentation became more valuable than many finished works. Strategy 3. Learning over finishing. Leonardo stopped seeing unfinished work as failure. He treated it as learning. Every abandoned piece taught him something about anatomy, light, structure, movement. He wasn't wasting time. He was building mastery. The result: by not trying to perfect everything, Leonardo had the mental space to perfect the few things that truly mattered. That's why we remember the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper, not the dozens of unfinished projects. Section 4. How you apply this today now. Let's bring this back to you. Step 1. The 2-project rule. Always have 2 active projects. When perfectionism hits project A, switch immediately to project B. Don't sit there thinking. Move. Step 2. Define good enough. Before you start, before you begin any task, decide, what does good enough look like? Set a hard limit. Example: this email gets 30 minutes, then I send it. No negotiations. Step 3. Document progress, not perfection. Stop measuring success by completion alone. After each work session, write, one thing I learned today. That turns incomplete work into forward momentum. Step 4. Practice strategic abandonment. Not finishing everything is not failure. Sometimes it's intelligence. Ask yourself, is spending 20% more time here worth delaying my next 80%? If not, move on. Conclusion. Direct wake-up call. Let me be very clear. The world doesn't reward perfect work. It rewards finished work. Leonardo da Vinci is remembered for what he completed, not for what he endlessly polished. You have two choices. Spend the next month perfecting one thing that still might not feel good enough, or finish 4 imperfect things that actually move your life forward. Your challenge. For the next 7 days, pick 2 projects. Define good enough. Switch when perfectionism hits, track progress, not polish. Perfect and invisible is useless. Finished and imperfect changes lives. If it worked for Leonardo da Vinci, it'll work for you. Subscribe if this helped you break free from perfectionism, and tell me in the comments. What's the one thing you've been perfecting forever instead of just finishing? Time to move on.